Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mikestand. Batgoat has stepped away from the computer. I'm just gonna. You ready?
I am ready. Hello, everyone. Bonjour, mes amis.
Giving us a little bit of language.
Little French.
Yep. Yeah. So, okay. So we got. Let's see. We got 4 people in here, so that's cool. So I'm gonna get started here, just so we can get into this.
Go for it, Mike. I'll be muted. I'll be muted for like 30 seconds while I set up my good microphone.
All right. Okay. So, tonight we're gonna, of course, look at comics that went on sale in February of 1937. Just make sure now that I hit the right. Okay, that's for later. That one's for later. Let's see. Yeah, something. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay. So as you guys can tell, a lot. The numbers went up like quite a bit. February has got up to 15 here. Of course, Batgoat got. Okay, so Woody's saying Batgoat got huge mileage out of Super Chat asking Nick to say favorite movie quotes as Kermit the Frog. Okay, I guess that was from last night. How about Batgoat setting up the mic? Okay, so anyways, as you see here, there were 15 comments out. Now, I'm just going to go through like 4 of them real quick, and then we'll get into the actual reading of 3 others. So it's like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 debuts. We have a 5th issue and a 15th issue.
You guys hear me all right? Check 1, 2. Mike, good?
Yeah, I think you're fine. So the approximate on sale of this one, Dick Tracy the Detective. Now you'll see here. I'm gonna go ahead and up this a little bit. Okay? Just need to do that a little bit more. Just want to show you guys something here, so that you guys can see this. Now here, if you notice there, the number 1 is in parentheses there. When you see that, it means that it did not actually have an issue number. This is a one-off. Dick Tracy, the Detective from David McKay. Now, the reason I bring this up too is because Dick Tracy is also being featured in popular comics at this time. So, David McKay had a couple of one-shots this month. With this one and Popeye and the Jeep #1, which I'll show you guys real quick here.
Hey, Mike, real quick. Got a few minutes before 10 after. I know I told you this, but I wanted to let the guys know I went to the salon today. This is a salon style with the mustache for you, for my fan, for you guys. And I'm working on. I do have a new. I have a new trophy, and there's an actual physical thing to win for the LOL contest. Cool. So step up the game. I'm gluing right now as we speak.
All right. So, and then here's the other like one off Popeye and the Jeep there. See Popeye with the boxing gloves on. Look like he got a little ragged there against the Jeep there. Eugene the Jeep. So David McKay came out with a couple of one-offs there.
I always liked Eugene the Jeep. He flies with his tail, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he flies
kind of like
around
a little
with his tail.
helicopter blade. Yeah.
He's cool. I dig him.
Yeah, and then of course his nose will change colors to indicate certain responses and all that. And then Dell decided to get into the Western anthology bit here, but the only thing is, this was the only issue they published. Western action thrillers #1. This is apparently a 96-page book. At cover price of 10 cents. It went on sale February 24th of 1937. Now, when I looked this up on the Great Comics database, the GCD, some of the characters that were featured in this comic included Buffalo Bill Cody, Wild Bill Hickok, Laramie Joe, and the Texas Kid. So I know the first two are probably more well known than the other two, but this is Dell's, I guess, first attempt into the Western anthologies with Western action thriller. So, and then the last little quickie I'm going to talk about here is funny picture stories. The funny thing about this too is that this one did not actually have a copy to be able to read, but you look at the titles here. There was a particular title I was hoping to get a chance to read, or story that I was hoping to get a chance to read because of how it's, and because of the difference. Now, Batgoat, take a look. Can you see those titles? Or are they still pretty? Can you make out those titles?
Okay, there. Is that better? You can hear me now. Yes, I can see them fine. Yeah.
Okay. Look at the titles there and tell me which one you think would have been very interesting to read.
Which would have been interesting? Like,
let's just say because of the word usage, and let's say looking at differences in how we use particular words today and how they were used back then.
I personally, since I'm a sailor, I would read Captain Jim and the Chinese Pirates. That would be me.
Okay. Well, that's not where I was going with it, but
I messed up.
That's okay. I was hoping you would have picked up. Look at the last title.
Oh, Dan the Dick. I did not read the parentheses. Yeah, no. Hey, 1930s porn. I love it.
Well,
early fapping material.
Well, here's the thing. Well, obviously that's not a porn, okay?
I know. I'm sorry. I was joking.
Yeah, I know you were joking. I know you were BSing, but it kind of leads into the point I was going to make if I did have a chance to actually read that, and it's a point I've made on here before too. In today's idiomism, in the way we use words today, the word dick usually implies somebody acting like, a male,
like a jerk. Like a
jerk, and usually it's also used in reference to men's genitalia.
Yeah, I'm thinking of there's a very famous movie. You probably haven't seen it. It's called Bachelor Party with Tom Hanks. It was very funny, and they hired the stripper to play a joke on one of the girls, and he had a really big member, and his name was Nick the Dick, and so Tom Hanks was like, so do we call you Nick or Mr. Dick or?
Yeah. Well, okay. So basically how we use the word dick now is a lot different from how it was used back then, because back then, and I mentioned this to you before too, back in the 30s and the 40s, dick was used as a term for detective. It's kind of like, you know how some people will sometimes shorten or even, like, yeah, he's a private detective, so we call him a private dick, right? I mean, if you ever saw Star Trek: The Next Generation and you saw, Captain Picard talk about, that as well. But yeah, so let's see. I think Woody said something about it. Dick for detective. Yeah. Yep. That's what we're getting. That's what I was getting at, Woody. Just
Dick.
yeah.
Train dick, like the guys running around the railroad yards that weren't real cops that would beat up like all the hobos and people jumping the trains. They called them train dicks.
Hmm.
But I heard they were mean, like they would beat people up. So maybe that's where the whole thing, like maybe that's where it changed from dick as like a detective. Now all of a sudden it means a mean guy.
Yeah. Well, that's possible.
I'm making
That's
that up.
possible.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, Action Toys had a pretty interesting comment here. Laugh out loud. I'm pretty sure the story is about Dan and his friend Richard. Yeah, but anyways, it was the thing was I was thinking of obviously.
Thanks for the comments, boys. I saw that about the stash.
Yeah. I was thinking of reading that particular story just because of the word usage, obviously, and how how that has changed over time. But when they use the word dick back then as opposed to now, and of course, dick is still considered the short form of Richard. As you can see, one of the other characters there is Dick Kent. So up top there. So, but that was one of the key things I was wanting.
Most guys these days prefer to go with Rich. If they're going to shorten down Richard, they go Rich or Rick. Yeah, exactly. Because Dick is just too old school, and it does have a little, It has a lot of a naughty word to it.
Yeah, one of the other things I remember too is that an interview. I don't know if you know who Shane Douglas is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Shane Douglas is a professional wrestler. He wrestled in the WWE as Dean Douglas for a while there. He wrestled on a couple of different occasions with WCW. Okay, he was most known for his time with ECW, where back in '94 he had won the tournament to crown a new NWA World Champion after WCW had withdrawn from the NWA. And that's where he made the very famous speech in which he threw down the NWA title and promoted the ECW title as a world champion. So
okay.
Oh, anyways, Shane Douglas often calls Ric Flair Dick Flair because of Rick's the power Rick would hold in WCW, and he felt like Rick was personally out to get him and keep him from succeeding there. So that's another interesting tidbit. Anyways, so I just wanted to cover those four real quick. I probably went a little longer than I intended, but
Mike, check it out. Woody's got a question specifically on this. It just popped up.
This right here?
Yeah.
Wasn't the Rockers? Wasn't he the Rockers with Marty? No, that was Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty were the Rockers.
Close.
Okay, not Shane Douglas. Shane Douglas was never with the Rockers. Were Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. They actually got their start in professional wrestling in the Central States territory back in, I think, 85, 86, around there. And then had toured much of the Midwest before getting a shot in 87 in the WWF. So anyways, let's get on. Let's get to.
Is it just us? It's just us dudes. All right, that's cool. I'm sorry. I'm talking out loud. And Toys, I saw your comment. So it's a good thing you've had all your kids now, because that's going bye-bye once you get the backs. I'm told. I'm just being a pain in the ass. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I'm not planning on getting the virus.
Me neither. No,
I'm not a big needle. I'm not really a big needle person, and there'll be, well, you know how I feel if somebody tries to force something on me. So
yeah, that ain't gonna work. That won't work. No, I don't mind needles. I used to start IVs on myself. I have really big monster veins, but the principle. Since I've helped write things for the Navy Manual of Medicine through the help of the CDC, like 15 years ago when we had the biggest Lyme disease outbreak in a reserve unit ever, which was kind of embarrassing. But I know about this, and I've studied maps and everything, and like everything that's being told on the news is 100% blatantly wrong. It's all lies. You can't do a vax in 1 year. They had 7 years has always been the FDA rule, and it's all political driven, so it's not medicine.
Yeah. So, anyways, the comics number one, Dell Publishing. This one went on sale on February 15th. And it was initially started out as a. This one ran for 11 issues from 1937 to 1939. It was pretty much a monthly. For the most part, it was started out as a monthly, then went kind of bi-monthly. You can see the dates. See the dates right here, just all scattered about. So just to show you, it wasn't as consistent. Now back then, even though some titles were considered monthly, they didn't. Obviously due to the economy and all that. You can see how right there how the dates are spread out and somewhat. Batgoat.
Yep. There's a spread there.
That was a bit more common back in the 30s. There, remember, this is still pretty early on in comics history too. So, but yeah, so that one ran for 11 issues, and of course, you have a couple of comic strip reprints, and then we have a Tom Mix story in there. We got they had a lot of, when I looked at this earlier, they have a lot of Western stories in here. But one of the other stories I'm going to read, as well as Sky Clipper, that one you should like, Batgoat, because I know you're an aviator guy, and that one's an kind of a plane story.
Yeah.
So
well, one of the neatest, like, romantic era of airplanes is the China Clipper, the flying boat that went overseas up until World War II pretty much ended that. But what a neat plane.
Oh, we'll go to that. See where are we at now? Okay, so all right, so 17. So we're coming up on 18 minutes here.
I agree with you, Toys.
What do you say?
I agree with what Toys just wrote. You can keep going, Mike.
Okay. Oh, does it have? It has something to do with.
He's stacking onto my political statement. I won't do any more. I apologize.
Oh, wrong. Okay. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Dell Comics. Yeah, because remember, we're trying to have some fun here and forget about a lot of the current stuff going on.
Agreed.
Right?
Agreed.
Okay, so the comics, March 10th. Now, March is the cover date. It's not the on sale date, obviously, but that's as I mentioned before. Of course, the cover date is usually 1 or 2 months ahead of the on sale date. Well, do something. Look at this. Guy's kind of hanging off the building there, like he's about. Well, do something. Look at what he's trying to grab onto. The O right there.
Yeah, but like the other dude doesn't look very happy with him.
Yeah, he's asking him to do something. He might do something, but it might not be the thing he thinks.
No. That I mean, it looks a little faded over the years, but the color on that for being so old is pretty brilliant.
Yep.
Like, that's a good copy.
Yeah. Wash tubs. Of course, we'll breeze through some of the pictures here just so here's another kind of Western looking story. Just gonna breeze through some of this a little bit. The name of the law. Out our cowboy comics, out our way. Sombrero Pete.
I'd like to have a beer with him.
Tom Mix in Gunfighter's Range. Through the starless night, Tom Mix guides the footsteps of Tony, his horse, toward a meeting place. Long years of range war have taught Tom caution, demounting, or dismounting, searches for possible ambush.
Boom.
Tom's caution saves his life in the clearing. He sees Ted Barton, whom he was to have met, tied hand and foot. That's supposed to be a guy right there?
Yeah, looks a little.
So that's supposed to be a guy.
Looks a little girlish, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it's the angle or what. Guarded by two gunmen. Okay. Tom strikes with the speed of light, holding his fire lest he attract other gunmen in the vicinity. He smashes one on the head, then switches his attack to the other. Happily, Ted gasps, Thank heaven, you're here, Tom Mix. Covering the two gunmen, Tom unties Ted. We'll turn the tables now, Tom laughs. Ha 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 ha.
Tom Mix, I think that has cashews in it.
Well, from what I understand, and I know I said this before, but I think Tom Mix was kind of the John Wayne of the 30s and 40s.
Okay.
Yeah, I know John Wayne was more in the 40s and 50s, but I think Tom Mix, who predates, because I remember when J.D. Hayworth used to have a show on Newsmax, he often talked about how he collected a Tom Mix pocket knife as a kid. So,
I think Stagecoach is pretty early, Mike. That might be like late 30s to early 40s. John Wayne's first real big hit was Stagecoach, right? Woody, do you know?
Okay. On with the story. Swiftly, then, Ted Barton is freed, and in turn binds his former captors to a tree. Ted Barton, who has been Tom's pal since Rio Grande days, explains, they're range jumpers. Sheriff's in cahoots with them. They attacked the ranch this morning. Then, as Tom and Ted ride along, Ted tells how knowing trouble was coming, he had sent Tom a note earlier in the month. At the edge of the ranch clearing, Ted reveals that his foreman still is holding out in the woodshed. They see flashes of gunfire from the ranch house. This will give us a chance to reach the woodshed, Tom explains, and opens the horse corral gate. Frightened by a shot from Tom's gun, the horses stampede, scattering the gunmen in the ranch yard.
Pew pew.
Pew pew! Get it! Watch out! Look out! Horses are coming! Horses are coming! In the confusion, Ted and Tom reach the woodshed, where Steve, the old foreman, still is fighting for Ted's ranch and home. While they got me once, drawls the old man. Ted introduces Tom, and the three make plans for regaining the ranch. Realizing the range jumpers will return as soon as the stampede is over, Tom takes command, ordering Steve and Ted to loopholes in the shed. Tom himself stands guard with a rifle, ready to die if need be for his friend.
The Risen Bull range jumpers. I'm kidding.
Oh, sure. Well,
like Rangers.
Yeah, well, you know what's kind of funny? Risen Bull Rangers is the name of Vic's fan club.
Yeah, that's why I was saying it as a joke.
Okay. Batgoat was saying hi, evening. Okay, hi, so Jeremiah came in to say hi, huh?
Jeremiah said hi to us, Mike. So I was just saying hi back.
Well, hey there, Jeremiah. Okay. Tonight's drink is lovely cider. No boats on Sunday. It's a 100% Canadian hop cider consisting of 5% alcohol percentage. Best paired with friends and good times. Cool that. Anyways, we continue on with the story here.
Woody answered my question about John Wayne there. It looks like on his.
Okay. I'll highlight it if you want to read it off.
So I asked. Yeah, I asked about John Wayne. I said, when did he start acting? And I believe this is what you're talking about, right, Woody? You said, wow, huge filmography all through the silent era and into the first few years of talkies.
Yeah.
Is that right, Woody? Am I understanding that correct?
Okay. So, anyways, two of the range jumpers return, plan to chase Steve, whom they believe to be alone, out of the woodshed. Tom sees the outlaws are merely covering up an attack with a battering ram by two more gunmen.
Oh, Tom Mix is what he said.
Oh, Tom Mix is talking.
Yeah, Tom Mix was apparently a big name. Okay, cool. Thanks, Woody. It's good to know.
I know. Yeah. Well, yeah. As I recall, based on what I was able to see on him, I think Tom Mix was John Wayne prior to John Wayne, basically.
His grandson Chex Mix became very popular in the 70s.
Yeah. But instead of the lone gun of Steve, the foreman, answering their attack, the outlaws are met by a hail of lead from three guns. They flee, leaving one dead. But the gunmen have not given up. Puzzled, Tom watches them shift their attack. Through the gloom, the brave defenders see two gunmen approach, a wagon loaded with hay. Suddenly, one of them sets fire to the hay, and they push the wagon downgrade. That's an old trick they use in the West.
Yeah, huh? Yeah.
To send a flame.
That's medieval, dude. Getting a cart, light a cart, and push it down on the village below.
Yeah. Plunging madly, the burning wagon careens down the slope and strikes the shed. Tom realizes that they must die in flames or rush out to meet outlaw guns.
I'm going to go out firing.
Yeah. Before Steve can stop him, Tom dashes outside. There is a sharp report, and he feels hot lead sear his leg.
Oh.
But he goes on. Tom heaves against the wagon, trying to push it away from the shed. Outlined by the burning hay, a perfect target. He tried to remove the menace of death by flames. And I guess that was it for that. For that story. I guess that one might be continued in the next issue or something. I'd say here, but it did say it was only 4 pages, so adventure stamps here. Eric Noble, another kind of Western type story here. Eric Noble,
adventurer type 49ers. So that's possibly based off a true story, but just fictionalized, with Gold Rush, right?
Yeah, probably. Lone Marshal and the Border Rustlers.
That's some great names.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, this one has quite a number of like Western themed stories in it, if you noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Beatty. This one's more, I guess, what would be considered modern time for the time period.
So it's soap opera.
Yeah. Prairie Bill.
Uh-huh.
Look at that! Look at that! Somebody got an Indian lifted up there.
He's hucking a brave overboard there, isn't he? G-Man Jim.
Another like G-Man or government man story here. We've seen a few of those. Steve Carson, G-Woman, Sandra and the Secret Service. Cowboy, another section account. The Arizona Kid right here. Down in the West Texas, down at El Paso, I fell in love. Here's Myra North, special nurse.
Mexican girl. Yeah. Whoa, she's packing heat.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Damn, baby. Slow down with the heater there.
Or to the front. Huh?
I was laughing. Special nurse that'll bust a cap in your ass.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody really would like to have a nurse with that kind of bedside manner.
No,
right?
No.
Well, here's one of the other stories. I noticed it's the 30 minutes. So that story didn't take too long. Mm-hmm. Flying the Sky Clipper. So this one I figured you might.
That to me looks very. I mean, they're not going for accuracy, but they're sloppily and loosely basing it off of the Pan Am China Clipper.
High over the blue Pacific, the Sky Clipper roars westward from San Francisco to Honolulu. Winsey Atkins, son of the Pacific Airlines president, and Buttons aboard the Sky Clipper has learned.
This is basically it. They changed it from China Clipper to Sky Clipper. I mean, they're basically going off the real events.
Okay. Aboard the Sky Clipper has learned wireless code in his spare time from Chuck Carson, chief pilot. That fella in compartment 6 sure has a heavy bag. Stuffing the radio apparatus in his pocket and still puzzled, Winsey enters the compartment. A coil for a short wave radio and a condenser. How did they get here?
There's a bad guy in your airplane. That's how.
Here's your bag, Mr. Kent. Will you order dinner now? No, but have you seen a small coil of wire? I lost it. Not important, but I'd like to have it. As Winsey is about to tell Kent he has found the mysterious coil, one of Kent's traveling companions interferes, and by his remarks arouses Winsey's suspicions, so Winsey keeps still. You heard what, Mr. Kent? You heard what, Mr. Kent? Oh wait. Oh, okay. You heard what, Mr. Kent? You heard. Oh, okay. Sorry. You heard what Mr. Kent said. Did you? Well, go look for it.
Okay, jerk.
Let's see. Listen, Chuck. Kent, the man in 6, says he lost a coil of wire. I found it, and it's part of a shortwave sender. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Winsey. Sparks is calling me. There's a powerful shortwave sending set nearby that's blanketing our calls. We can't reach the shore station.
The radio operator is a. I lost my joke. A eunuch.
A eunuch?
Yeah, you did a high pitched voice.
Is that how I voiced him? Or?
Yeah, he sounded like a little kid or a eunuch.
Well, I'm trying my best to like.
I know. You're throwing it. You're varying all the different voices. I know.
Chuck puts 2 and 2 together. Look, men, thanks to Winsey, we suspect that the man in 6 has a shortwave set, blanketing our calls to shore. Jarvis, see what's happening. First Officer Jarvis sees Kent using a possible typewriter, then notices that he is wearing earphones. Puzzled, Jarvis starts back to the control room when he hears a sudden call. Just typewriting. But wait, he's wearing earphones? All right, maybe I should read top to bottom there. Okay. A plane! A black plane! Firing a machine gun at us, look! Winsey's warning is correct. Poised over the sky clipper, a speedy slate black airplane begins a power dive, while a cold-eyed figure presses the trigger of a stuttering machine gun. And you see the guy like my machine gun sound?
That was good. I was wondering what a stuttering machine gun sounds like. Is it like Speed Buggy? Does it go put more ammo in?
Maybe. Maybe. You never know. Let's see. Pirates! Confusion reigns in the interior of the big clipper as the pirate ship roars downward and its bullets shatter 3 of the 4 propellers. Stop! Faced with the threat that his passengers may die before the blazing guns of the pirate plane, Chuck steps to the bow as the defenseless Clipper glides down toward a landing. The Clipper lands, and suddenly, as the hull touches the waves, a gleaming black submarine emerges from the sea with the skull and bones of piracy flying at its flagstaff. Ahoy, Clipper! Surrender, or we'll send you to Davy Jones. And so, suspicions of First Officer Jarvis are realized. Kent, pretending to typewrite, actually was using a shortwave transmitter to direct the pirate attack on the Clipper. Now he seizes control. Surrender, you fools. Directed this whole... Oh, wait. Surrender, you fools. I directed this whole attack from inside your own plane. Give up or die. We're covered. Led by Chuck Carson, the officer of the Clipper, led by Chuck Carson, the officers of the Clipper attempt to regain the ship, but a murderous-looking crew from the pirate submarine dashes in. But overlooked in the excitement as the pirate sees the Clipper, Winsy Atkins slips into the baggage compartment to his little radio sending set. I don't know if anyone will hear it, but here goes. SOS, SOS, SOS. Maybe the ship can be saved yet.
I dig that ABBA song too. SOS by ABBA. It's a good song.
Yeah, that almost had some alliteration to it too, the way they said that. Okay, and then I guess that's a to be continued story. Shooting Sheriff. There was one more that I wanted to touch upon here. Coast Guard and the Raja's Ransom was the third one I was going to hit upon this. Somebody I guess had said something to me. I just now noticed because I just went over to the YouTube screen. Saw somebody had mentioned my name.
Toy said that a while ago. Or I'm sorry, the last comment you didn't read yet was from Toys. That was a while.
Oh. Okay, well, let's see if I can find it. Go back. Yeah, it must have been a while ago because I'm going all the way back here. But anyways.
I think well no, you saw that Jeremiah said hi, so he added you there.
Oh, okay. Let's see, I'll go to the YouTube and read it up. Oh yeah. Jeremiah said hello, Mike Walters and Batgoat. Okay. That's what it was.
Woody, you are correct that sending out an SOS, but I think the actual title of the song is Message in a Bottle.
The Police has also had an SOS song. Yeah. All right. Anyways, on to this last story from the comics here.
You missed the last one there. Toys has got another thing relevant to what we just read.
All right. I like how even a guy with a typewriter can learn to code. Laugh out loud.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
Well, I mean, learning to code. I mean, the typewriters were kind of the computers of the 30s, right?
Yeah. That's funny. That's a good one.
I mean, we type stuff on the computer. You type stuff on a typewriter. So
true.
Okay. Anyway, so this story here. So hold on. Let me figure out one more thing. So 44. So we're coming up. We're just shy of 45 minutes. So
45 minutes. Yeah.
all right. I think I do have enough time to, because this one's only 3 pages. So let's see. Reporting in at San Francisco headquarters of the U.S. Coast Guard, boatswain Jerry Minton gets a strange assignment.
Bosun is how you pronounce that. Bosun.
Oh, bosun?
Yeah. You don't even say the T. It sounds kind of like bosun.
And apparently you don't say the W in there either, right?
Correct. Like coxswain. There's a lot of weird stuff in nautical terms.
Boatswain. Okay, boatswain.
Bosun.
Wireless from New York, Jerry. Boy, this is going to be some job. The wireless message from Cherry's chief tells how Scar Ear Vince, American gangster, have stolen the priceless pearl necklace of India, known as the Raja's ransom. The necklace is worth $2 million, believing the gangsters may try to smuggle it back into the U.S. His chief orders Jerry Minton onto the case next morning. Don't look much like Coast Guard men now, eh, Pop? Not much, Jerry. With his veteran pal, Chief Radio Operator Pop Burley, Jerry sets out to scan the waterfront. Both seem to be derelict seamen. If they already smuggled the pearls in there, must be a rumor of it on the waterfront. Pop, those men aren't waterfront workers. Follow them into that restaurant. Okay, Jerry. So Batgoat, how am I doing on the voices?
You're doing great. I was just funning with you like I always do, you know.
Okay. Did you see 2 men in light tan coats come in here? What if say ain't you Minton of the Coast Guard? Jerry and Pop get a break. The little seaman is Limpy Connors, whom Jerry once saved in a wreck on the Atlantic coast. Sure, they come here. New York gangsters in the back room. Thanks, Connors. Maybe they're the men we want. Come on, Pop. We're going to break in on a party. Okay, Jerry. But let Connors wait here. Quiet. If these are the men we want, they're killers. Slipping along the hallway, Jerry and Pop come to an open door, beyond which they hear voices when the lights suddenly go out and the men start to leave. No. Oh, wait. What the? No, you're not leaving. You're not leaving now, boys. Hands up. So it's you, Scar Ear Vent. All right, Coast Guard. What you want? So, Batgoat, you were saying that the Sky Clipper story was an adaptation of a previous story of some type, or
it was taken from real life events. The Pan American Clipper, it was specifically Pan Am had that San Francisco to Hawaii service starting back in, a long, late 20s, early 30s. It went for quite a few years, and they were the only ones to do it, to fly across the Pacific to get you out there, because they had the flying boat, that big flying boat, so they could do it.
Okay.
A lot of books have been written about it and stuff. Sorry.
Okay. Just this. Keep them covered while I frisk them, Pop. Let's see. So he really had the Raja's ransom, huh? Wait. Oh, he really. Wait. Oh, he really had the Raja's ransom, huh? Those are paste pearls. Jerry and Pop refused to believe this statement, but they look closely and find the pearls are merely imitations. Maybe I can show you where they keep the real pearls. Just then, Limpy Connor slips into the room. Okay. Nothing in here. Any other rooms, Limpy? Not having heard what Limpy's phone call was about, Jerry leads the way into the last room and is greeted by, one.
Anon's here. Hello, Anon.
Hey, Anon. Yeah, one right here. Say I telephoned. Never mind that now. Let's get going. Pick them up, Coast Guard. The menacing guns of 3 more gangsters. Other members of Scar Ear Vince mob. Suddenly there is noise on the stairs. Search every room, men. That mysterious phone call said Minton needed help. With Jerry helpless before merciless killers, a Coast Guard searching party is heard on the stairs who made the telephone call. Will they be in time? Perhaps. Continued. Okay, so that's it for that one. The comics. How did you like those stories, Batgoat?
They were good. They were good. Good action. I agree with Woody. He made a comment there that said the pirate sub was cool. And I was thinking that. I didn't interrupt you, but it was all black and it was flying the skull and crossbones. It looked pretty rough. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I don't think there's ever in real life ever been a non-government submarine that's been, a combatant.
Right. Well, let's see. According to Woody here, the teletype was the original postcards human interface. DVD survives the present day Linux.
I think what's TTY? Is that like translating into for deaf, for hearing? I don't understand that, Woody, but I certainly believe you.
My first experience computing was on a teletype connected to a PDP-10 across town. Oh, I think I know what telegraph wires. You probably,
okay.
You know how you'd see them tap 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 tap. Pirate sub was cool. Okay. And then here's Anon. Hey, just got home, going to grab a bite and be listening in. Evening, everyone. Anon, and then everybody saying hi to you. Semper, paratus.
Paratus.
So,
I don't know if you sound
so before I move on to the next book, Batgoat, was there any commentary that you wanted to give on what we read so far?
They were cool stories. Definitely liked them, and like you said, it was good. They're good action stories. So yeah, that was cool.
And kind of a good mix. I went with the Western, the Coast Guard, and the airplane story. So it was
agreed.
Good.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was laughing at one point because it said something about the two separated or distracted semen or something like that. And I looked down and I started laughing because when I was on the Nimitz, there was an undesignated seaman in the ship's store, and his last name was Sample. So everyone would walk in and go, "Yo, where's the semen sample?" Ah! He never thought it was funny.
Well, okay. I think that's when I read derelict. Semen.
Derelict semen, yes. Yeah, it made me laugh.
Okay.
Because I'm a child. I'm immature.
It's the motto of the Coast Guard who just rescued them.
That's right, Woody. Thank you.
Okay, so anyways, so we've got through that one then. So let's go on to another one. I'm gonna enlarge this so you guys can see this cover right here. Actually, better yet, I'll just wait till I actually go to the comic, because then we'll be able to see it. Now, according to the notes here, actually, I should probably enlarge it because they have a note here, but this note, now this guy may have intended for this to mean that it was DC's first, not necessarily the first of comics in general. Can you see that, Batgoat? Did I make it large enough?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Perfect.
Note says, his notes here say, this is the first comic dedicated to a single theme. I think what he actually meant was this is the first DC comic dedicated to, because as we've kind of seen already, Centaur and Dell have already kind of done single theme books already.
Yeah.
So that may just be like DC's first single theme comic. So.
Anon just made a comic there about, or a comment about that comic.
Can't have a cover like that anymore.
Unfortunately, true.
Yeah. A derelict seaman is better than an unknown seaman. Well, maybe. And Batgoat, why would you guys say that you can't have a cover like that anymore?
Because it's like that's why Dr. Seuss. One of the main reasons why they pulled the Dr. Seuss books, because one study by one university in California, by the way, said without citing anything, with no proof, they said it has shocking Orientalism. Like they're making up words now, but some of his older stuff, because he fought in World War II, is pretty. Everyone was anti-Japanese back then. So
yeah, well, I'm guessing that you guys are saying this because that front cover looks like an evil Asian type character, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that basically? If I understand, well, let's see. This Detective Con. So I think that's actually the. Now I know most of you were here when I read the Slam Bradley story. We're talking about the villain of that story being Fui on Yui. Okay, and that is supposed to be who Fui on Yui.
Fui on Yui.
Well, okay, I'll show you why. I'll show you why.
Yeah, Mike, that like SJWs would say that's really aggressive. It's a caricature. It's showing anyone who's Asian to be evil and blah, blah, blah. They would just freak out.
Yeah. In the Slam Bradley story, The Streets of Chinatown, let me show you this.
Fui on Yui. That's really good. I like that.
Now that's how I pronounced it, because I do have some understanding of like Oriental dialect, or Asian dialects a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm guessing that's how you would actually pronounce this. Fui on Yui.
Yeah. It's like the Hakawi tribe. Woody and I were joking about that from F Troop. What a Hakawi.
Yeah. All right. So anyways, but but that's basically who that is right there. So now we'll go over and we will. This is Detective Comics #1, and I said I'd read 2 of the stories from this one. I had actually previously read the Slam Bradley story, so we won't be reading that one. But I will be reading more Slam Bradley down the line, because I know a lot of guys like that first story. And Slam Bradley's a pretty cool character. His feature in Detective Comics went from the very beginning of it to all the way up until like 1949. So he was right up there. He was like the back. He started out as kind of the feature, or or the backup feature, then went to being the feature. And then when Batman debuted, he went back to being the primary backup feature. And this part is kind of because they don't really have. And it's just taking me a sec to get through all this.
You looking for your story?
Yeah, I'm looking for the actual, obviously the actual copy here. Oh, we're already past the hour mark here, so hopefully, like I said, I'll do 2 of the other stories.
Here's the picture I just took of my filthy workspace. You guys see that? So you can't see it with the camera like this, but I'm looking around and I'm like, I've got junk everywhere.
DVD or Detective Inc. So we just have to go back one page here. Detective Comics 1937.
Hey, Leto's here. Hey, Leto, how are you?
Leto.
Good to see you, dude. Make sure I got everyone's name down here who's in the running. And for anyone that's just joined us, Leto and Anon, your pal Batgoat has actually made a trophy for the LOL contest. So that will be premiered tonight. And it's really, really bad. I'm impressed with myself.
Hey, Leto. I know Leto was one of the ones who was really liked the Slam Bradley story in this book.
I know that's one of the nights I miss, and like the next day, everyone's like, "Dude, you missed a good one." Remember that? Everyone was telling me about the Slam Bradley night, and you guys were laughing it up.
So cover date as stated there, March 1937. Detective Comics, 10 cents. That's the villain. That's I believe the villain from the Slam Bradley story. There's Fuyan Yui. Brand new action-packed stories in color. Here's kind of a smaller scale of it. Look at that guy. I don't think that's somebody you want to meet in a dark alley, right?
He doesn't look human though because of the eyes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they drew a lot of evil characters like that. Back
there's our guns. Yay! My spud gun.
Yeah. The ad page. Back when nobody was crying, oh, we gotta control guns. We gotta control guns. Anyways, on to this first story here. Speed Saunders and the River Patrol. Now, as I learned post-crisis, they made this guy the cousin of Shiera Sanders' hot girl. I believe they did that in post-crisis. So, Speed Saunders and the River Patrol. So, in every large city, there are the G-men. In every large seaport, there are G-men known as the Harbor Police. Speed, Cyril Saunders, is a special operative in a unit of the River Patrol. Now for a nice, quiet evening at home. A book, my pipe.
Mike, I'm gonna go dark here for like 2 minutes, and I'll be right back. Okay.
All right. Ring. Hello, Cyril Saunders speaking. Hello, Speed. Listen, I've got a hot case. Can you come over? Oh, hello, Mr. Moran. What? Yeah, sure. Be right over. Taxi, taxi. Hello, Speed. This is Hen Vesser. He has a story I'd like to have you hear. Well, I'm what people calls a bayman. I makes me living raking the bay. Me and me partner, Joe Plum, we been at trawling and digging in the bay for nigh on to 30 years. We rarely missed a day, and our hauls were good until Joe, look, a dead man. And that ain't all. We found 3 more bodies afloating in the bay by Jove. Oh, and I almost forgot. Them bodies was all Chinamen. See if anybody's got say that. Oh, exactly. I made. I guess talking about the trophy. All right, I'm driving now. I'll let enjoy the show. See you, Leto. We're up to 6 people now, so that's good. Let's see. Chinaman. Uh-huh. I got a hunch. Great. Let's hear it, Speed. Whoa. Not so fast, Mr. Moran. If it's okay with you, I'd like to work alone. Oh, all right. Go ahead, Speed. Speed Saunders combs the city's Chinatown for a clue. Listen, Lou. You know the ups and downs of Chinatown. Are there any tongue wars going on? Golly, not this dump. Um, jury is getting deep. Oh, that's actually a woman. I'm sorry. Dolly? No, not this dunk. Jury is getting deep. At the morgue, Speed inspects the bodies of the Chinamen. You're right, Doc. These are real Oriental Chinamen. Now, no, you're not going to tell me that they floated here from China. Oh no, I've got an idea.
I know we do this. We do this all the time, but I just want to point out that he said these are real Oriental Chinamen. Even I'm like, that's a wow. They because Oriental is not a person. That's like describing a thing or an item or like a rug.
Mm. Yeah. Well, and again, though, this was how they used words back then.
I know that one's.
This was written by Gardner Fox, by the way.
I don't think they realized back then how offensive to say Chinaman, and I think it was done fairly derogatorily. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong.
Yeah, well, I mean, to a certain extent, it may have been. I mean, prejudice is we're all capable of prejudice.
The whole world. Honestly, I mean, we know that, but yeah.
So, okay, let's see.
He looks like Gilligan, right? He's got the white hat, red shirt, white pants.
Yeah.
We're just kidding. Hey, little buddy.
For a week, Speed lives at the dock and working as a stevedore. He has a stevedore. He is able to watch the sea and the boats. Say, I wonder why that schooner never comes into dock with its cargo. I don't know. I'll bet they are bootleggers.
Stevedore is a guy who loads cargo onto boats.
Okay. Yes, Sonny. All you got to do is take me to that boat and leave me. Gee, mister, ain't ya scared? Them guys is cutthroats. Things are quiet. Things are too quiet to suit me. Maybe they're having tea.
I see what you did there, Woody. I had to look it up and go, I get it. That's funny. Very clever.
I'm sure his comment was accidental. Well, snooper. Come with me, fella. Yeah, Captain, I'm looking for a job. Oh, yeah, a job, huh? Well, I reckon we can give you a job.
Now go fashion a radio out of these coconuts.
Now, wise guy, your job is to swim ashore.
Oof.
Oh, well, only 3 miles to shore, and I needed a bath anyhow.
Dang.
That's one way of getting a bath on the Batgoat. Would you take a bath in the ocean?
Well, if I had to, yeah, I'd prefer to try to swim to shore as opposed to drown. I love his attitude, though. He's like, yeah, going for a swim, no biggie.
Yeah. Hello, Jake. Hello, Jake. Been for a swim? By thunder, it's Speed Saunders. Where in tarnation did you come from?
The water.
Jake, you're just the man I want to see. Have you got a boat? Yeah, sure. Got a little catboat. Why? Swell. Could I rent it for a week? Sure enough, she's yours. At dawn, the Maria sails away. Speed trails the Maria. Luckily, the lookout's gaze is on the horizon and does not see him. And you see the picture of from afar. There she is, Captain Scum. There she is, Captain Scum. The name of this villain was Captain Scum.
That's suitable. Make it pretty easy.
Hard to port, you lubber. At nightfall, the two boats come alongside and unload cargo. Well, how many you brung me this time, Luke? Only 200, but they're good ones. 200? 200? You swine! You promised me 300. Sit down, Captain Scum. I'll explain it all. Meanwhile, Speed anchors and starts investigating. Speed sneaks aboard the freighter and overpowers the guard. Look at that! Look at that! You got him in maybe in a sleeper or carotid hold, maybe.
Yeah, chokehold, arm bar, not arm bar, just chokehold.
Yeah, chokehold or carotid hold. The carotid hold with the arm. That's what in professional wrestling they call the Cobra Clutch. When you put the guy's arm over it like that.
Yeah, they taught us how to do that in the Marines when we fought. It's a real specific. It's real hard to get it done right.
Yeah.
To put
Because you have to figure out exactly where the carotid artery is, and then to put your arm.
It's all about placement. They taught us to shove our arm down as hard as we could, so it's like pretty gay, but like you're bringing yourself closer to the enemy. So the further your arm goes down, and then when you crook it back up like this, you make that perfect V to. You stay away from the trachea.
Show me that again, because I was on the other screen.
So it'd be a quick move, like I'd come up behind someone and shove my arm down as quick as I could, and then quickly make a V like that, and just bring it up into there, and then you control with your other arm there, and if done correctly, it should take less than 10 seconds to put someone to sleep.
Yeah,
in real life, yeah.
Golly, look at them. So you threw them in the sea. Ain't that nice? You? Put them up, boy. Put them up. I'm taking you boys to port. I think you're the guys the river police are after. Now, Captain Scum, head your boat for port. Yes, Chief. They were smuggling Chinamen and throwing the sick ones in the sea. You've done a splendid job on this case, Speed. You'll get a raise and nope, no raise, no bonus, just a vacation. All right, Speed. The end. There's Cosmo, the Phantom of Disguise, which I believe is enough. Basically, all these I think are some form like detective stories.
Yeah, it looks like it. They look like fancy gentlemen.
Well, that's how people dressed back then too.
Especially if they had money, which it looks like that house kind of, yeah. Better. Hey, it's bedtime. I better go put on my 3-piece pajama suit.
Yeah. Brett Lawton. A black and white story right there.
Looks like he's somewhere tropical or something like that.
Mm-hmm. And then The Claws of the Red Dragon, Bruce Nelson. And I decided not to read this one because we'd probably get some flack for it for some of the same reasons that we are just talking about the flack for the Slam Bradley story.
Yeah. And the font is small on that one too.
Yeah. I know Bart Regan's in. Bart Regan Spy is another one that was done by Siegel Schuster, of course, on Slam Bradley. So, as you can tell, some of these are pretty lengthy.
Yeah.
Shoot Gus right there.
Pre-television and back then the movies were, I mean, people went to the movies, but they weren't the greatest.
Yeah. This was the entertainment.
Yeah.
Now, mind you too. I think even back in these days, what was it? They were considered. These comics were considered directed towards kids.
But I would imagine that adults were reading them too.
Yeah. Bart Regan Spy, Jerome Siegel and Joe Shuster.
As a matter of fact, all the dudes in World War II, they all had comics with them. They all brought comics with them.
Well, they needed that escape.
And they were young enough, and like that, they just had them. They just grabbed all their comics and went off to war.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we're at an hour and 22 minutes, so I'll try to get through some of this a little bit quicker. Okay. Bart Regan is astounded to receive a notice discharging him from further service as a federal agent. Look here, Chief. What's the big idea? Now, don't get excited, Regan. I've an order from higher up to apparently fire you in. Bart Regan is astounded to receive a notice discharging him from further service as a federal agent. Look here, Chief. What's the big idea? Now, don't get excited, Regan. I've an order from higher up to apparently fire you. In reality, you're to be transferred to the secret spy detail. Report to room 2048. Good luck, Bart. When Bart reaches room 2048, maybe you'd rather be a federal man, as you say, but you must forget personal preferences. You see, your country needs you badly. As a boy, we are being harped by foreign espionage agents. And while we must protect ourselves, cannot come out in the open, will you accept? If that's the case, I will. You realize, of course, you will not represent the United States officially. That if you get in a tight spot, we will not be able to recognize and assist you. You've got to sacrifice your personal life and all thoughts of marriage. I'm sorry, son. We're practically asking you to forget all you've ever dreamed and dash it all. We can't even give you public credit for what you're doing. It's all in the game, I guess. A great sorrow stifles Bart's heart as he attempts to sever the last tie which binds him to his former life. I guess our affair was all a mistake, Sally. So long and good luck. He phoned Sally Norris, his fiancée, and falsely tells her that he no longer loves her. But Sally has other ideas. Bart, he hung up. He doesn't fool me. I know we still love you. He still loves me. Well, he'll soon learn it's hard to shake off. And then look at that scene right there. Blindfold, they're like soldiers playing.
Firing squad, yeah.
That evening, following orders, Bart dons an army captain's uniform to attend a social gathering as Captain Markham and make the acquaintance of Olga Balanoff, who is suspected of using her charms to worm valuable army secrets out of young officers. Wonder what one should say upon being introduced to a beautiful female spy. Sally, driving to Bart's residence in the hope of again arousing his interest in her, glimpses him drive off in a taxi. Follow that taxi. So, he breaks our engagement, then goes out to celebrate. She's not happy, is she, Batgoat?
A woman scorned. Ruh-roh.
What's that old saying? Hell hath no fury like
a woman scorned. Yeah. I found that to be true in my life.
In your life or your wife?
In my life, my ex-wife, sure. I had a few girlfriends in my day too, so
Yeah. Bart arrives at his destination. Will you please announce me, Butler? I'm Captain Markham. Regan, to me, don't worry, buddy. I'm a government man, too. I'll point out Olga to you. So they got spies in there already, huh?
Yeah, he knew he was coming.
Sally arrives. Why, Sally Norris? Who are you? What are you doing here? What are you doing here? Crashing your party, say? Say, would you please introduce me to that handsome officer over there? Oh boy. You just see the trouble we're about to see, Batgoat. I get the feeling that there's going to be some hell to pay here. What would you say?
That looks like we're headed that way. Yes, I agree.
Bart and Olga Balinoff are interrupted. Captain Markham, I'd like you to meet Sally Norris. You? Why? Certainly to be delighted to dance with you. What do you mean by pulling me out on the floor? How did you get in here? Well, so you're in the army now. So do I have to shout it from the housetops to make you understand? We're through. And for Pete's sake, don't call me Bart. I'll call you anything you want, dear, if you'll only be nice to me. Oh boy, this is not. Oh God, this is not good. This is not good. She is like just walked right into a hornet's nest.
You know what?
Yeah,
you know how I'd follow up if I was him? I'd say, hit the bricks, toots. Here's the keys to the street. Get to stepping.
Yeah, but I don't think he wants to be that cold. I think that's.
I would, but that's me.
Pardon, Captain. May I cut in? With pleasure. Take her. She's yours. That impudent girl seemed quite attracted to you. Never mind her. Let's talk about you.
Let's talk about boobs. I mean you.
You look capable, as though you'd be in the confidence of your superiors. Sure, they tell me everything. Careful. And I think that's more of a like thought bubble,
internal,
right? So it's not a
internal.
So this is what he said. Careful. I shouldn't have said that. She'll be suspicious if I act too dumb. Trying to find the balance. I'm weary. Will you see me home?
No, I'm going to see a lot more. No.
Look in the bottom right corner there, Batgoat. Look who's still there.
Yeah.
I'd be delighted. For the second time that evening, Sally jealously follows Bart.
Wow. Of course she does.
Follow that car, and you'd better not lose it. Do you mind if I rest my head on your shoulder? Mind? I should say not. Turns on the sex appeal, huh? Hurry, driver. So Bart's tired of one face and is turning to another. Well, he'll find tossing me aside harder than he imagines. You have to wonder if Sally here has some kind of death wish or something. She has absolute. Sally is furious.
She's a typical woman, Mike.
I'm glad we don't have any women right now to hear you say that.
That was a joke. I 100% retract that. I am sorry to anyone who I offended with that joke.
Yeah. Well, I think we have all guys in here, so I think you can get away with it a little bit more here, but
a little bit.
Ah,
Someone will be watching all these old shows when you get famous, and they'll be like, "You know that Batgoat once said," and then I'll be canceled.
won't you come up to my apartment for a drink, Captain? Sure, if you'll offer more than just one. Several minutes later, Sally's taxi draws up to the curb. Just a minute, lady. What about the fare? Goodness, I left my pocketbook at the party. Oops. Oops. Oh boy. Unseen by Bart, Olga drops a pill into his glass. Ah, the old put the sleeping pill in the drink bit.
That heartless wench, she slipped him a Mickey.
I said, let me go. I've got to enter that apartment. I'm not as dumb as I look, sister. I'll let you go as soon as you pay what you owe me, and not a second sooner. While in the street below, to be continued. Now I'm just gonna like breeze through this so you can see the rest of it, the art.
Yeah. Time wise, you're at 1:36.
And then I guess I'll just breeze through the popular comics as well. But
okay, that sounds good. Yeah.
But I thought I still had enough time to get the 5 that we did and at least 1 or 2 in the popular comics, but I guess not.
Yeah, it's just I know we like to, or you like to get the like to get to niche by like quarter till. I think that's usually a good mark.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
And here's the Slam Bradley story, and I know everybody. I'm not gonna read this, but I'm gonna just scan through it here and let you look, and you can read for yourself some of it if you'd like. Back to.
I believe he's a favorite of the chat, so I'm excited for. Oh yeah. What's he doing?
This guy is a private detective, but he's kind of a barroom fighter type of private detective. He's kind of well built.
He seems to be the
kind of guy you don't necessarily want to get into a fist fight with.
Seems to be beating Chinamen. He seems to be beating Chinamen over the head with other Chinamen.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. I love him. He's my guy.
Yeah.
Wow, he don't take no guff.
Look at that face off right there, huh? To the right there.
Mm-hmm. Got those hard features like Dick Tracy.
Yeah.
Oh no, watch out. It's the crazy broad again.
Yeah. And they're short. That little guy right there with the hat, that's Shorty. Mm-hmm. He becomes Slam's partner in this story.
Okay.
He wanted to basically team up with. Yippee! At last! I'm a success at last! Look at his facial expression right there with the dog.
I don't think he wants it shoved in his face.
Yeah. Well, he's basically getting the job of dog sitting.
Yeah. Puppy.
There goes the puppy running away. See, this is 13 pages, so I'll try to go a little quicker here. But I just wanted to, at the very least, give you a good look at this, see what all the hype was about.
I'm down with the chat. Slam Bradley is our guy.
Now look at that.
It's a little provocative.
And they basically got her hands tied up overhead.
He was swinging in, yelling at them, "You yellow rats." Wow. Slam. You're my boy.
Yeah, as I understand, in more modern years, in more post-crisis, Slam had a son who also went by the name Slam, who was actually ended up partnering up and eventually dating Catwoman in post-crisis. Post-crisis. This is after Crisis on Infinite Earths. So,
which happened when? Time-wise?
Crisis on Infinite Earths was a storyline that DC did back in like 85, 86. The idea was to kind of clean up all the continuity issues created by the multiverse.
Between the multiple, okay, yeah.
So, and then they basically rebooted the DC universe in 88. So, like a lot of the DC comics of the 90s there, Batman the Animated Series, Superman the Animated Series, all that was partially based on more of the post-crisis stuff. Okay. So there you go. There's Detective Comics for you.
Okay.
So how did you like that, Batgoat?
That was cool. I loved it, and I love seeing my man Slam Bradley. He is my dude. I want to get the Slam Bradley T-shirt.
I don't think there is an actual T-shirt.
No.
Well, remember he made his debut all the way back in 1937.
Oh, there's got to be some other Slam Bradley fans out there. Well, maybe we'll make one.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's see. Where are we at? Yeah, wow. Okay, I'm gonna real quickly. Now, there's something I did want to show, and we're gonna take a quick peek at this. I'm not gonna read any of the stories, but we're gonna just kind of go through the comics here real quickly. Here, there's something I want to also point out. Now, you remember earlier when we looked at the David McKay publications, Dick Tracy Detective? Remember that, right?
Kind of, I think.
Go back real quick so you can see that.
All right, Toys, I saw what you said. I'm making a note. I can't guarantee anything, but I'm making a note. Make Slam Bradley shirt.
Okay, so this is the David McKay Dick Tracy book right here, Batgoat.
Okay.
See that?
Yeah.
See the color?
Looks a little different than, yeah.
Well, yeah, and I was noticing that too, and that's where I was going to go with it.
Remember, I said the hard features. It looks a little softer. His face is like rounder there or something. It was drawn differently. I could be
well, again, I think that has to do with this is David McKay doing this particular book, whereas in the popular comics, Dell Comics is doing. And as soon as I can get to it, what I wanted to show you on that. Now, keep the picture that I just showed you in mind, because I'm going to show you kind of a comparison here.
Okay.
I get into it. Let's see. We're looking for popular comics. Right there. And for 15. Okay, so here's the cover. And then look right here. See where it says Dick Tracy right here?
That is definitely different. Those are two different. I mean, it's not significant, but I can tell.
Yeah, I mean, I was noticing that too. I mean, but it just goes to show you how, like, one company will draw a character, how another company draws a character.
That's interesting.
Now, one of the things I realized too with this comic even though Dick Tracy and Little Orphan Annie are actually part of these comics, I think for whatever reason they were taken out of this comic, maybe copyright reasons or something like that, or something to that effect.
Could be.
Willie, you're dancing too close. St. Patrick's Day dance. Well, of course you're probably because you're both pretty huge.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, it's quarter till, so.
All right, I'm gonna breeze through this real quick, just to. We can just kind of. But this is pretty faded anyway, so. But the thing with the Dick Tracy in particular is what I wanted to show. I mean, I would have thought about reading maybe Dick Tracy or Little Orphan Annie. Here's Terry and the Pirates. So, Gasoline Alley. Another Tom Mix story there. Don Winslow of the Navy. And that one was a popular feature in a number of books, too. Don Winslow of the Navy. So, this one is pretty. Austin Hall. That was actually one of the stories I was thinking of reading, Sister Susie. All right, so. All right, so anyways, so that's that. So how did everybody like that stuff?
It was good. I liked it. You guys?
All right. Well, it is that time of night. Wow, we're up to 7 people, so that's good.
Hey, Anon, peep my shirt. That's my favorite dispensary in Colorado.
So now that we're kind of at the hour and 46 mark here, I think it's time to wind down. Batgoat, I hope you'll stick around for a few minutes afterwards.
Absolutely.
All right. So without no further ado, guys, as we are getting down to the end of the show here, are you all ready for this day in each history?
History.
Good stuff. Portly. Yeah, I guess that was from that cover.
Yeah.
Liked it just fine. Look at you.
When I showed him my shirt, it's a dispensary shirt.
Was fun. Neat it up. Ready. Okay. So without no further ado, then let me just clear that out. Since let's see, let me just review here. 03, 71, and 2011. Okay, so now that we know which is which. So today being Friday, March the 5th, 2021, let's take a look back at this day in each history. And our first stop is going to go back 50 years ago today to 1971. On this date in 1971, Wahoo McDaniel, known for his time in the Mid-Atlantic area for Jim Crockett Promotions, defeated Toru Tanaka in Houston, Texas for the NWA American title as part of Big Time Wrestling in Dallas. This was a company that was owned by Fritz von Erich of the Von Erich family, the patriarch of the Von Erich family. So at around this time, of course, McDaniel was heavily involved in his feud with Johnny Valentine. They carried that over later in the 70s, in the mid 70s before his plane crash in Mid-Atlantic. But on this date in 1971, 50 years ago today, Wahoo McDaniel defeated Toru Tanaka for the NWA American heavyweight title in Houston, Texas. And it looks like you said something. Let's see. Green Dragon is also a drink made from Everclear and stems from Bud. Okay. Sounds horrible. I want to. Okay. Anyway, so now now with that, so now on to the next piece of niche history here. As we venture forth to 2003. On this date in 2003, which was 18 years ago today, the 780th issue of Detective Comics. So we read a bit of the first issue of Detective Comics, Volume 1. Now, we're now in history here, the 780th issue happened on this date in 2003, 18 years ago today. And think about that. The first volume of Detective Comics went well into the 800s, I believe. Okay. I mean, think about it. This is from March 5th, 2003, when this went on sale. Detective Comics #1, which we had read, went on sale on February 25th, 1937. According to this, there were 881 issues altogether. Pretty amazing. And I know Action Comics had a very similar lengthy run there.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I mean, that's 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and they went all the way up to 2011. 9 decades. 9 decades.
That's impressive.
Uh-huh. All right. So with that, then, okay, so that, and then the two stories there were Dead Reckoning Part 4 and Spore Part 5, but of course they had no information on those stories here, so. And now, the last piece of niche history for the night here happened on this date 10 years ago today in the world of anime, as 5, count them, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movies, 5 anime movies. These are anime films. 5 of them made their debut on this date in 2011, 10 years ago today. PA Works, Bono Yasai, Niniman, Shin-El Animations, Doraemon, Nobita, and the new Steel Troops, Winged Angels, Ascensions, Kizune Ichigaki, Production IG, which of course is well known for its work on Ghost in the Shell, Production IG's Tansu Warashi, and then TMS Entertainment's Oji-san no Lamp. Try saying all that 3 times fast.
That is a mouthful.
5 anime films premiered on this date 10 years ago. So there you go. So that's all for niche history tonight. I thank everybody for joining me. And I hope you guys enjoyed the content. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to read any of the stories from popular comics, but you know how that goes sometimes. Anyways, I hope to see you all back here. Well, let's get these last couple comments here. Okay. Yeah, I want to try it sometime too. It takes like 3 to 6 months to make, I think. Okay, I guess that's some of you and that you guys were talking about. Action Toys. Lava told my son I was thinking of taking a week or 2 off of making YouTube videos.
Don't leave, everyone. The trophy. Don't forget about the trophy.
And suddenly he comes up to me with his 12-inch ramen that broke its leg and asked me to make a vid of it getting fixed. Have a good one, everyone. All right. Oh, thank you for reminding me, Batgoat. I almost ended the stream before you had a chance to. But anyways, okay. So we got this day niche history done. So we're about to sign off here. But before we do, Gonna give Batgoat the floor to do what he wants here.
That's the latest picture of my little peanut. And let's see. The scores for tonight are Leto got 1. Enon got 2. Woody coming up with 3. And Toys takes it with 4. 4 laughs. So the new trophy. Are you boys ready? Bum, ba-da, bum, 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 bum. Here it is. So I have to mark that.
That
Toys.
little noisemaker you just used is apropos for these Friday shows since we're back in the 30s.
My slide whistle.
Yeah.
Okay. Here is the trophy. Now it stays here with me, but I put a little Post-it note on there. So can you see it? So let's see. There's the guy. I used a glue gun. So that dude like pasted in the back. I guess that's you or whoever the winner is. So that's going to be Toys. Then there's the Rock'em Sock'em robots that are, and then there's a car accident and a city scene and a country scene. So that's it. That's the LOL trophy. Congrats. And Mike saw me making it like as we were getting ready for the show. It took like 10 minutes.
And I just noticed a Mike Batgoat. Ha ha ha.
Oh, my Potato Mike 3000. This thing rules. I mean, this rules.
Yeah. Laugh Out Loud looks awesome. Okay. Laugh Out Loud. Hang on. He knocked out blocks off. Okay. I guess they were meaning he knocked our blocks off. Anyways, guys, I thank everybody for joining me tonight. I hope you all enjoyed the comics retrospect. Of course, next Friday we'll go on to March 37. We'll continue to look up milestone issues and and we'll take good looks and look back on what life was through the eyes through the representations in the comics. We'll look at how life was back then. So until Monday, though, until we get back to our regular news items and stuff like that, I shall bid you all adieu. I hope you guys have a good restful weekend, and I will see you all back here on Monday. Bye.